be alone here.
Cool. Hi.
Hey, if anyone is here, what can you see?
Hmm?
Do you see if anyone is there?
I have no idea, but let's just start.
Let's just start. What
Yeah.
do we talk about?
Well, this is your Q&A.
Yeah. Actually, someone had questions.
I'm I'm using this big old mic, so I'm ready.
Just a sec.
Guys, so we're pulling up questions right now. Why don't you guys start? If you're just joining us, start.
Hey, Carolis.
Hi.
Both Caroli.
Start putting your questions in. That is a burning question that you have, that it's a big problem that you're trying to solve right now, and take advantage of our presence here, because can only do it for 30 minutes. So we're going to jump right in here.
Yeah,
And he's going to ask some questions from you guys. By the way, we are currently in Colombia. With the entire team kind of co-working, and there's a back room there where everybody is. So yeah, can you guys hear us okay?
Hey, Florian.
Hey, Flor. The highlight of our week. Ooh, that's a great question.
Good introduction.
Yeah.
To the call.
Okay, so I guess let's get started with our first question.
Which one?
Whatever you want to ask.
So let's do let's start from you, Lou. So
so funny carrying this thing around.
Yeah, so the highlight of the week today, I actually created an amazing test for, I created an ad saying that, for the skincare brand, and I created an ad which was saying I felt like a lizard, and the reason because of that is because when lizard skin becomes not good in quality or whatever, they can go out of their skin and peel it off and then change the skin. So I wrote this ad and I just launched it. So excited to see how it's gonna look like. Yeah, let's start with these questions. So I'm currently doing some international testing right now. I'm debating whether I should segment out my campaigns by geography, Europe, Asia, or by language. All countries the brand ships to with language overlays. Curious your thoughts there, Kevin Kovac. Like the way I do it, I basically when I start testing, I'm like putting these countries separately, and if it makes sense, I put them together, like Scandinavian countries, for example, and then I look at the data, and then I start basically some of them I combine. I have this 40-40-20 principle, which means that 40% are smaller countries, like smaller audiences, than 40 bigger ones, and then 20% are much larger ones. So basically, I have the best converting ones in the first 40, and then I have bigger ones. So I add USA usually down there, and it's really broad. And then we have opened worldwide, but sometimes we don't. So yeah, the other client that we had.
Well, for the other clients that we do international, we actually sort of do a test. The test is essentially we go worldwide at first, and we then go check to see which countries Facebook served the ads most to and where we got the most purchases. And then after that, we actually group them, and this is only English. These are not international language overlays, for example. They're just our top performing creatives that worked in the US, and they're all English. So we just basically transfer those top performing creatives who got all of the engagement, and then we put them into the international campaigns. At first, we essentially go worldwide. And then we just see what the data coming back is. It's really important that you allocate your budget appropriately so that you're not breaking your ROAS. So usually the international budget will be just about 5 to 10% of your overall spend for that month, and then you just collect the data. Okay,
I see.
Australia.
Kevin, for example, he said that he wants to segment
Segment
it
by
by
language.
languages,
No,
and
don't do that.
I mean, I've had people who do that and they do it successfully, but they also do like they create brand new stores for that. We don't do that on the ads
Yeah.
level, at least. Like I try to do it. It's so much more work, and
Yeah.
it didn't justify, the speed of the testing and plus social engagement. You lose all of the social engagement.
So what we try to focus on, because there's just so many moving parts and so many moving pieces, is we really try to follow the 80-20 rule, which is, we don't want to create more work and we don't want to create more complexity. We don't want to create more tracking. And the more manual it is, the more we try to find other solutions. And this is why we just go worldwide, make sure that we limit that budget so that it's not breaking our normal ROAS. See what the data is coming in, only English, because we don't break it down by language. And so far, we're getting 2x ROAS international for our clients, and we use it as a scaling strategy essentially. So once we feel like we're kind of reaching our max or the performance is declining in the US, then that's when we start implementing international, because we know it's going to support that scale. So don't do that much work. Just be smart about it and apply the 80-20 rule.
Yeah. I mean, you can always test it, but as far as I've tested it, it didn't work for me, and it didn't justify it. So yeah,
let Facebook do the work for you.
Then how do you deal with the accounts that you can't get to work? I mean, like
this is from Matt Bancolita. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Well, it's difficult, man. Like when my account starts, like my accounts are in generally pretty stable, and I'm getting pretty good ROAS all the time. But when they stop performing, then man, like I'm doing everything. Like the whole team
He becomes a madman, you guys.
Yeah.
And the team needs to watch out, because then he just assigns a shit ton of tasks to do whatever it takes to rehabilitate the account. Yeah. And he usually gets it to rehabilitation in less than 7 days.
Yeah. And usually, people start focusing a lot on optimization part of Facebook. Yes, you have to do it. You have to relaunch the ad sets and stuff. But for me, usually it's more about the creatives. So I try to come up with different angles, work with the creatives that, for example, worked in the past 6 months, and for some reason I turned them off. Maybe they were not working. But if, let's say, it worked at some point, it might work at this point as well. So I'm just retesting the lots of creatives. Like at this moment, for a few accounts, I have maybe 20% of budget going to creative testing, only creative testing. No audiences, because like I've been working with these accounts for a year or so. So yeah, I'm not testing new audiences because I know that my audiences are already there. So I don't have to be worrying about it, but I have to be worrying about the creatives. And right now I got much more creative with the deals, and I got much more liberty to do that. Before they would be giving me deals and offers, and I would have to come up how to advertise it. But now I am able for some of them to come up with the offers myself. So that's much easier, much more work, but at the same time you can hit much broader audience with different offers and with the same creatives.
So usually means that we have to do something different. Something different is in the ad buying. Let's say that we try testing a new campaign structure and it's not working, we'll go default back to what we know works. And so we were doing a lot of CPOs. Now we're sort of kind of backtracking to what works, which is conversion campaigns, for example. So we'll go back to some of the things that we know has worked time and time again for us, and that's a strategy that we use to rehabilitate the account. And at the same time, we use flash sales to help with cash flow. So we'll let the client know we can't hit the target ad spend this month, but let's put together a flash sale or a product launch, and that way it'll basically make up for the revenue that we'd be losing because we're decreasing the ad spend. So those are some of the things that we have in our ammo, in our gun
As
chest.
well, like you can come up with the blog post. For example, we have seen that every blog post for skincare brand, for example, um, brings us around 5K in revenue. So we know that, for example, today, like yesterday, I wrote a blog post. I know that today there's gonna be like 5K coming in because we're gonna blast it to the whole email list. So that also is one of the strategy. And like at some point you hit the ceiling with the account, so you have to be optimizing lots of stuff so that it all works in synchronicity and it stabilizes it, and then trying the new channels. So yeah, let's do the supplements one. Martina Zaleckis. So if I want to start a brand in supplement niche, would you suggest to open a store in Shopify and add more products and test there, or just go straight to the ClickFunnels and create your main product landing page? So Chris has more experience in that, but in my opinion, supplements is very direct response, so you have to be dealing with the landing pages themselves, unless it's some kind of I don't know, branded play, but I don't think that's in your case it will be the case. So it's very direct response, so choose the platform which is easier for you. Like we have developers team, so we do Shopify, right?
Well, if I were you, because your question is really how do you start from scratch? And if I were you, the best way to start from scratch is to essentially copy the dropshipping product testing formula. I myself, because we are going to start building our own e-commerce brand from scratch next year, had a consultation with Florian Tepp. Get with him because he's in our private Facebook group. And he is a dropshipping expert, but I, was like, hey, how do you test products? What are the signals that you're looking for? And he gave us, the best way to test products, which is what I recommend that you do before you even build a Shopify or a ClickFunnels, because you want to build, you don't even have to build a Shopify, to be honest with you. Maybe you do, I don't know, but you can definitely just test different products first. One of the signals that the product is going to be a bestseller, for example, or scalable, is going to be the reaction to the different creatives that you create for those specific products. So if there's going to be, let's say, a high frequency of reaction or comments or shares or saves, you want to look at the engagement around the creative for that product, and then then that you have a potential. Floor told me the statistics. He said 1 out of the 10 products that he tests in the US works. But if you go international, it's usually about 3 out of 4 products or 2 out of 4. Basically, an international, you have a higher chance of a product being more scalable rather than in the US, because the US is very competitive.
Yeah, CPMs are too high, probably.
Yeah.
Cool. What are your tips traveling, living abroad while running your agency? By Sadra Malikian. Yeah.
So we have basically You Stay, who is amazing. She is the one that put everything together for us. What are your tips for traveling, living abroad? It's really important that we vet this place that we're 15 people right now. So on a scale of 15 people right now here, it's important that we test the Wi-Fi. So we make them get on Zoom and go walk around the house and make sure that the Wi-Fi is working, for example, especially in a country like Colombia. And then we just make sure that there's different seating spaces, because you don't want to be stuck in just like one type of sitting space. So we try to find a place that has multiple seating spaces. And then we just do some preliminary research around restaurants, food, In this instance, we have a great team of people who does the cleaning every day and cooking for us, breakfast and lunch, so we don't have to worry about it. So really, it's really just about do whatever it is that you can to reduce the logistics of research. I would recommend that you hire a personal assistant to sort of take care of all of that, because it is logistics heavy, and it takes away from you having to work on your revenue generating activities, the most important ones. So outsource, delegate. If you can afford somebody for $8 an hour international who can do this for you, that's the way to go.
Oh, how is Bayanwar Yabirov?
Anwar.
Okay. How did you guys generate leads for your agency? Now I saw your ads in library. Did they all come through your Facebook group?
That's the amazing thing, is that we spent $0 on ads for leads, and yet we were able to grow and scale, and we have actually stopped taking on clients because we needed to stabilize our infrastructure.
Yeah. I mean, we used many techniques and strategies and so on, but at this moment, I'm not sure. Now the leads just come. Like,
Yeah.
now it's stopped for a bit, but in general, like, it's coming. Like, I don't know from where exactly. Like, usually, like, because we scaled quite a few accounts now, and the guys who scaled the accounts, they are in some kind of masterminds and Facebook groups, private Facebook groups, whatever. So they recommend us to their friends, and we get the accounts. And like, like the Swedish brand that we work with, they are very well connected, so we get lots of leads from them as well.
Yeah, a lot of our leads now are word of mouth, because they've heard of us at some point, or they've gotten in contact with our content. I would say that showing and leveraging your expertise is always going to be a very effective thing, and just always display the results that you're getting for clients, even though it seems like it's not big, and it's not, like it's not as big as ours. I remember when I turned 10,000 into 30,000 in revenue inside Ads Manager, I leveraged the crap out of that case study. I increased my retainer and all of that because, hey, I showed that I can turn $1 into $3, and leverage your success as much as possible, and really leverage your network. There's a lot of private Facebook groups out there that you can show your expertise to, and people would be like, hey, I need help, and it'll naturally come, I think. But yeah, we used LinkedIn, we used distribution content strategies. I went and spoke at some events, and we got some leads there, and then just doing really great results for our current clients. They basically send us all their friends.
Yeah. And the article that I've written last year as well brought us lots of leads. So yeah. But yeah, there was no one particular strategy that we would be focusing on for a long time. The only is the most stable one, I would say, is Facebook group, but we are not getting many leads or something, but it's growing bit by bit, and yeah, we are getting some leads for sure from there too. So Vikash Kumar, you know better how to pronounce it.
You said it.
Okay. Hey, so what kind of CTR do you see for cold audience ads, and what do you consider as low CTR and stop the ad?
It's different for each account.
Yeah, I hardly ever look at the CTR. I look at it, but I don't make decisions based on that. Because like some ads that are getting me 2x ROAS at the top of the funnel have like 0.5 CTR.
In general, we're moving away from, this is like an old school Facebook ad strategy, which is, look at the signals, and link CTR is one of those signals. Add to cart cost is one of those signals. Cost per link click is one of those signals. We as an agency as a whole is moving away from that, because we've learned that Facebook is really pushing everybody to go as broad as possible, like auto placement, for example, and Facebook knows on which platforms or in which placements you're going to get the purchase at the cheapest cost at that moment in time.